Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Ramblings of an Insomniac. I am Courtney. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to every single person out there, regardless of where you're from, what you look like, what you believe. I welcome you. That said, there's always a but, right? People are like, oh, I knew it. It couldn't just be nice. You couldn't just say something nice and leave it at that. Well, I'm not going to say anything mean. I'm not like that. I'm not a mean girl, okay? I'm not a mean girl, which that movie still cracks me up to this day, Mean Girls. But anyway, I'm not a mean girl. That's not what I'm going to do. I am just going to say, because I want to get this out of the way before anyone wastes, and because I'm such a nice person, this is what you're going to get out of this podcast, okay? When you listen to the Ramblings of an Insomniac, you're going to get a little disclaimer so that your time is not wasted. I don't want to waste your time, so I'm just going to say, if right now, if you are someone that is, you get your feelings hurt easily or you get offended easily, that's okay. That's you. That's who you are. I'm not judging. But this podcast may not be your thing. It may be something that you don't like because I sometimes, not all the time, again, not every podcast I get like that, but there are times I'm going to say things that very well could irritate, piss you off, make you angry. I don't know. And so I'm just going to let you know right now before you continue. And that way you can turn it off right now and not waste your time if you don't want to. Okay. Anyways, that out of the way. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to every single person out there. I appreciate you. I am beyond grateful. I don't even know how to measure the amount of happiness it gives me to see more and more people tuning into my podcast and people from all over the world. I haven't been able to put out a podcast because I didn't have a platform to do it. I was shopping around on platforms and stuff. And then honest answer, I got really busy with work and stuff and working on some projects. And I got really absorbed into that. And then I feel bad because originally I didn't do my podcast and put one up. I didn't mean to just leave people in the lurch and be like, screech, and not even say goodbye. But I didn't intend that at all. I have a subscription to a podcasting platform and I didn't pay it. And I didn't pay it because I wasn't sure if I wanted to continue to use it. And so, but it was kind of last minute, so I didn't do a podcast saying, hey, it may be a bit. So I feel bad because, there are people out there that listen to me all the time. And then all of a sudden, I just leave and I don't say anything. And I didn't mean to. That was not my intention at all. I wanted to continue to use that platform, but I didn't pay for it. And then I was like, it's pretty expensive. And I've heard there's a lot of free ones out there that do the same thing. So, And then I got crazy busy with just life stuff. And so I'm sorry. I genuinely am. I'm here though. Hello, everybody. I'm back. Did you miss my melodious voice and my singing? You're probably like, dang. Now I was getting kind of used to the quiet. I realized how much I did not miss that obnoxious voice. Too bad. You tuned me in anyway. This is what you get. You chose to listen, right? Speaking of choosing to listen, hello, prank callers. Shout out to the prank callers because yet again, they called. They called twice and saying the exact same tired thing. And it's just cracking me up because I'm like, gosh, you got to miss someone real bad to keep calling them, to figure out ways to call, You got to miss someone a lot when you are going out of your way to talk on the phone to them so that you can hear their voice. You're like, gosh, you know what I miss? The sound of Courtney's voice. Just like the people on this podcast that didn't hear me for a month, right? Just kidding. Just kidding. Like I said, my voice is awful. I don't have a soothing or a sexy voice at all. It's pretty annoying. I'm even going to admit that. And the fact that you guys listen to me is amazing. You all deserve, if there were like a Girl and Boy Scout badge for that, well, you're not children, so I'm just telling you, cheers. Thank you, because I can't even listen to the sound of my own fucking voice. It's pretty annoying. I get it. But the fact that people want to call me when they don't have to, just so that they can hear my voice, and I'm pretty sure they're the same people that stalk my social media and try to post this meme of me, a side-by-side picture of me and the Crypt Keeper. It's hilarious. And what they don't know is I find it funny. Number one, making a meme about me. Okay, you're still getting my face out there. I don't care if you call me ugly. Why would I care? I'm not going to care what a stranger, especially one that I don't respect in any way, thinks I look like. That's a weird thing. That's a weird concept to me. And so make all the memes you want of me looking like a crypt keeper, side by side of me and the crypt keeper. Okay. Also, if you want to continue to keep posting them on my social media, you're just giving my social media attention. And then people like or dislike or comment on that meme that you posted. So then I get more traction. I get more attention to my platform. And then they're like, oh, Ramblings of an Insomniac. She has a podcast? That's cool. And then that's amazing to me. So it's just funny when people think they're like, oh, I'll get her. I'll get this person. I'm going to post a meme about them. That'll show them. Well, to some people, it might hurt their feelings. To some people, that might devastate them. To younger people not Generation X, I don't think that's going to disturb a single Generation Xer. I can speak for probably 90% of Generation Xers and say, we don't give a fuck. You're wasting your time. Maybe it affects other people, and if it does, I'm sorry, because bullying is a thing. I'm not at all downplaying bullying. That's bullying. It's 100% bullying. It's just that I don't get bullied. If you bully me, I will 1000% step the fuck up to you. I'm sorry, that's just how I'm built. I'm not bragging, I'm not flexing, I'm not saying that I won't try to talk first. I will try to talk, I'll try to be rational, because I don't want the first thing I do to be violent. And I'm not going to start anything. Mosby, come on. Let's go, Mo. Always got to be Mosby, right? To those of you that listen to my podcast, I swear, it's always Gwen and Mo. Good girl, Gwenny. I didn't even call you, but good girl. Come on, Mo. Oh, good boy, Mo. It wasn't you. Oh, I misjudged. Look at me. Shame on me. I made an assumption, and I made an ass out of myself. Anyway, bullying is not my thing. I don't like when people get bullied. I don't like it at all. Sophie Cunningham is now my new fucking hero. I've been watching the shit out of Sophie Cunningham clips, and her whole pointing thing, oh my God, that is 1000% something I would do. It may be, yes, I'm 52 and I would do that. Absolutely, I would do that. I'm sorry, if you are going to start shit and you're going to go around picking on people, then you better be learning to finish it, because you don't get to start shit. Everybody starts shit with Caitlin Clark. This is a fact. It's not my opinion. And it's people that are jealous, and it's people that are jealous that she's white and that she is the single reason that the WNBA has anybody watching. I mean, her and a handful of others. Okay? There's 10 women, if that are the reason that people watch the WNBA. And I'm not trying to diss on them. I'm sorry. No disrespect. It sounds disrespectful. I absolutely appreciate. I can't do what they're doing. Me and a basketball, I'm terrible at it. And you have to work hard to be in the WNBA. And you have to be fit. And you have to be talented. And they are fit and talented. And these are very athletic, awesome, hardworking women. I'm not trying to take away from that in any way. Gwen, get over here. Come on, Gwenny. I'm not taking away from them in any way. I'm just saying that it's a fact that Caitlin Clark, the statistics show it, the stats show it, the facts show it, that she's the single reason that the WNBA is making the revenue that it is. So people show up to watch her. People buy her merchandise. People buy tickets associating with her, and now Sophie Cunningham. And Sophie Cunningham is like me. She does not like bullies. And she's not afraid at all to stand up to a bully, and she's not going to back down to a bully. And if you're going to start shit, she's going to finish shit. I just don't like people that go out of their way to start shit, and then they're like, act like the victim. Because you've picked on someone that's actually going to pick on you back. And now suddenly you're like, oh, no. Maybe learn that there's other ways of handling things other than being an asshole, other than being violent. And if someone tries to talk, if someone's trying to be respectful and talk and reason with you and is trying to not start a fight and trying to be the civil adult, and you continue to start shit, I'm sorry, you deserve to have your ass beat. Because you need to learn a lesson. I'm not saying you deserve to be stabbed or shot or, beaten to death or anything like that. I'm not saying you deserve to be hospitalized. But if you get your face punched, if you get slapped, if you get pushed, maybe fucking learn to shut your trap. Maybe learn to not start shit that you can't finish. Maybe, and I don't mean finish as in, again, I'm not promoting violence. I always think you should try to talk first and be respectful first. But I am promoting self-defense. And I am promoting, protecting yourself. You should. You're not being a bully if you're protecting yourself. You're being a bully if you're going after somebody for no fucking reason, just starting shit. And Sophie, when she did her pointing thing, oh my God, that was fantastic to me. Loved it. Loved it. When you can fuck with someone without saying a single word, without opening your mouth, just by pointing at them by a look, oh, well, you now are Jedi. You are Jedi master. When you're allowing someone to get into your head like that, that's a you problem. I'm sorry. And I've allowed it. I can't tell you how many people I've allowed to get into my head. I'm not on my high horse right now. Let me tell you what. I have 100% allowed someone to get into my head. And that's on me. I mean, at a point, it's on them because you can't continuously, like paparazzi and people like with Britney Spears, poor Britney. Honest to God, that girl. Like you just can't keep coming after someone and coming after someone and coming after someone and expect them not to lose their shit. Like people are human. There's only so much. When you get abused and abused and abused, at some point you're going to bite back. You can only kick a dog so many times. You can only abuse a human mentally and physically so many times before they snap. I mean, there's an entire show called Snapped after women that have finally just fucking had it. Now, granted, there are a lot of women on there that no one did a damn thing to them. They just are evil. It wasn't provoked. They were not. I'm not saying it's okay to murder someone, by the way. If you're abused, I'm not condoning that. I'm just saying there's a whole show because sometimes, though, you can only get bullied and abused so much before you lose your shit. And you don't know if someone is going to stab you or hurt you. You don't know. I followed someone the other day and my son was like, oh my God, Mom, you're going to get us killed. Because they had 2 dogs in the back of their truck on it. It was 93 degrees out. The bed of their truck was black. I don't know if they had a blanket. Maybe they had a blanket in the bed of the truck. I don't give a fuck. The point is, it's 93 degrees. They had no shade. And plus, I don't like dogs loose in the back of the truck. It's very, very, very dangerous. Pisses me off. Hate it. I will follow you. I will be a Karen, 100%. I don't know why people call that a Karen, by the way. Are you being a Karen if you see a person abusing an animal or a person and you step in and you protect that person and you protect that animal? Does that make you a Karen? No. It's called being a normal human that isn't going to stand by and watch another thing get abused like a lot of people do nowadays. People whip out their cell phones and record it instead of actually fucking doing something. I'm not that person. I'm going to actually do something. If you want to call me a Karen or a bitch or psycho or a busybody, okay, bring it on. Call me all of those things. Say all of those things, but I'm still going to do it. Because if I see something getting hurt, I'm going to stop it. If that's a bad thing, then you're a sociopath. Then you're the problem. Now, the way I go about things sometimes isn't always great. That I will admit. Sometimes I get a little shitty. And sometimes I need to check myself. And I need to not be an asshole. And I need to approach people in a bit of a better way. But if I see an animal, when you have 2 animals in 93-degree weather, they have no shade whatsoever. They're in the back of a black truck that may or may not have a blanket, so their paws could be burning. Stop walking people in on hot days if you don't check the pavement, you guys. If you can't walk on it, they can't walk on it. If it's too hot for you, it's too hot for an animal, okay? Their pads are not shoes. I'm saying that shitty and I shouldn't because a lot of people just genuinely don't know that, so I apologize. I shouldn't be a dick about it. I just get fired up when Like I said, I get real protective over things. I'm very mama bear. But these animals, these dogs, these two dogs, a Malinois and an Aussie, were in the back of a truck, 93-degree weather, no shade, 93-degree weather, no shade, may or may not have had a blanket down, so their paws are burning. The sun's beating down on them. Now, for all I know, he's only going a couple of blocks. I don't know, but I don't know how long he's already been driving around with these guys. Maybe he only has a couple of blocks left to go, but has he had them in the back of the truck while he's running errands and they're just chilling out, burning? I don't know. So I follow him. And I am 2 cars behind him. And then I'm 1 car behind him. And I'm shouting out my window, "Get your dogs out of the back of the truck. It's too hot. It's too hot for your dogs in the back of the truck. You're burning their paw pads. You're going to kill them. Get your dogs out of the back of the truck." And of course, he just kept driving and I kept following him. And then somehow I got lost. I didn't get lost, but somehow he lost me. Because a car pulled out in front of me. And then my son was like, "Mom, you never know if people are raging psychopaths. You don't know if he has a gun. You don't know if he's going to," that's my point to all of this, is that he was like, "You don't know if people are psycho. You don't know if they have a gun. You don't know." And I'm like, you're right. I guess I don't. But at the same time, I'm not going to let these dogs get hurt. It bothers me. I'm not going to sit by and record things. I'm going to do something about it. I'm not going to sit by and go, "Oh, I wonder." I'm going to do something about it. I'm sorry. If that makes me a Karen or whatever, then okay, call me a Karen. I don't understand why people are bothered by that. By the way, every Karen I've ever met is a lovely person. Shout out to all the Karens out there that are named Karen. Now, if you're behaving like what they would call a Karen, that's annoying. But at what point are you a Karen, being like just nosy and butting into things that aren't your business and don't affect you? To me, that's a Karen. But if you're butting into things that 100% affect someone else's life and health, that's not being a Karen. That's called, I hope you would do that because you're a human and you have decency and you have morals and you care and you have compassion for other living things. So I would be really hoping that most people would do something like that. Again, you don't have to approach it the way that I did, but I would hope people would say things and stop whipping out your phones and recording it, because that part pisses me off. I can't stand it when people post things on social media and then they're recording all of it and they're not saying or doing a damn thing about it. Like, what is wrong with you? Can't you use that same phone to call 911? If you're worried about getting hurt, okay, understandable. I get it. I get if you feel like you can't do anything physically. I get that you fear for your life, but can't you use your phone to call police? Can't you use your phone to do something? Can't you shout and scream and say, "Hey, there's someone over here. They need help"? I mean, you don't need your phone for that, but there's other things you can do. But also, if you're an adult and there's someone younger than you, you should jump in regardless if you fear for your life or not. That's just me. Not trying to say I'm some superhero. I'm just feel like that's a normal, decent thing to do. That's all. Anywho, all right, so enough of that. I just really appreciate you guys for putting up with all my nonsense. Like I said, by the time I get these podcasts up, I don't know when it's going to be, how long it's been since my last podcast. But I think the last one I put out was about the World Cup. Anyway, hello. Thank you so much. I genuinely appreciate every single person listening to my podcast. So today, what is on my mind other than that? So, a lot. One is I need to stop obsessing on things when I feel I've been wronged. I'm not talking like cheated on, but I'm talking about wronged by like a friend or a coworker or a boss kind of thing. It really bothers me when I feel like I've gone above and beyond and I've done a lot for people and I've put my own time and energy and my own happiness basically and invested it into your business or you in some way. And then and I feel like I'm loyal to you, as in I'm your supporter, I'm your cheerleader, and I get your business up and running and stuff, and then I feel that you were disloyal to me. That really, really bothers me. And I think it would bother anybody because, again, I think that's a normal thing to be bothered by that. My problem is I don't let it go. I get so resentful and I get really wrapped up in like, why did they do that? What was their reasoning? What did I do to deserve that? I didn't do anything to deserve that. What was their motivation? Or I do start going, maybe what could I have done differently? Because again, I don't think I'm perfect. I'm not always like, wow, they're the bad guy. I'm perfect. I did nothing wrong. I'm aware that I'm a pain in the ass. I'm aware that I have quirks. I'm aware that I can be annoying. I'm not everybody's cup of tea. I've admitted that, I think, on every podcast. I admit that. I'm not someone that thinks that I am, that my shit don't stink. I'm aware. It does. Okay? I got it. But when it comes to work, I'm crazy obsessed. I am on time. I work like the equivalent of 3 people. I'm when it comes to work, I do a good job. I'm a hard worker, and I'm going to give myself that credit. I am, because it's true. And so when I know that I also put in overtime and I go above and beyond and I'm doing the work of 3 people, I get really pissed off when it's not recognized. I can't help it. And I don't mean recognized as in I don't need, an award. I'm not talking about like I need to keep getting a raise, because especially small businesses, they can't afford it. But I'm just talking about I want to hear a thank you. I want to, have you buy me a cup of coffee. And I do have to admit, my previous bosses have done those things. I'm just talking about my recent one, my very recent coworkers and boss. They would buy stuff and they would say thank you, but then they would go behind my back, and then they ended up doing a lot of just shitty things. And I need to learn to say that's okay, because my happiness doesn't stem from what they did. I am going to take what they did and I'm just going to be successful, and which I already am. And I have been so busy that makes me happy, and that should be enough, because I could be like, I have a wait list, and it'll be great to be able to just be successful for me. Not successful so I can rub it in everybody else's face. Not successful so that I can be like, neener, ha ha, look at me. I mean, that does feel good. Come on. If we're being honest, we know that feels good. I'm not saying you should do it. I'm saying I realize that's a flag on the play, excessive celebration or whatever it is. I'm just saying that we all know in our heads sometimes we are like, proved you wrong. Look what I did. Look at me succeeding over here. Whoop, whoop. We have that in us, and that's okay, because that's called motivation. It's, again, different, I think, if we're out there going, ha, ha, look at me, you suck, I'm better, and we're being an ass about it. But if in our heads we're like, ha, ha, look at me, this feels great, that's motivation. That is okay. That's drive. That is something that's keeping us going. And competition is healthy. Competition is great. I used to feel really, really, really bad, and I still do, when big companies like Walmart and Home Depot and stuff come waltzing in to cities. Because more often than not, that puts mom and pop businesses out of business. That puts the local small businesses out of business, which I hate, and that makes me incredibly, incredibly sad. But at the same time, we complain about that, but we're the ones going to Walmart. Because if we weren't going to Walmart, then these mom and pop businesses would be getting the business. And then the mom and pop businesses would be succeeding. If we all stopped going to Walmart and instead chose to pay more to support local businesses, then Walmart wouldn't succeed. And we all like to complain about how expensive iPhones are, and like a lot of people are very, very into the environment and into climate change and into just the environment, and how, we need to treat the environment better. But a lot of these people use Apple products. And we all know where Apple products are made, and we know who they're made by. Children. But yet, are we still buying Apple iPhones? I am. I have to admit it. I'm still buying an Apple iPhone. Because somehow we put it out of our heads that little kids in Asia are making these things. Somehow we're putting it out of our heads that there is a child right now that is being used for child labor and getting paid absolutely nothing and working in terrible, terrible conditions so that we can be privileged enough to have a phone that most of us probably can't even afford. And so if we all continue to choose to do that, how do we get to talk about some of the things we do? Same with people use Temu. I've used Temu. Well, okay, we're choosing to use Temu over shopping at our local businesses. We're choosing to use Amazon and Walmart because it's cheaper. I understand things are tough. I shop at those places because times are hard. But then we can't complain because we're the ones putting small businesses and the local businesses out of business. And we're choosing to have little kids in sweatshops suffer. Like, look at the batteries in Tesla cars. I love Elon Musk. I'm not trying to put down Elon. I'm just saying that we're acting like these cars are so much better for the environment. But where do these batteries go? And what are these batteries made of? And who makes these batteries? Who makes the batteries that are put in electric cars? What are they made out of? And when they stop working, where do they go? And how is that better than putting gas in your car? And people are like, oh, the ozone layer. Oh, the ozone layer. Scientists keep showing that the Earth has been alive for longer than we can conceive. It's been around since forever. And it has always, always, always managed its climate. And it has always been hot and cold, hot and cold, hot and cold, hot and cold. That's what it does. It's what it's been doing. It shows that as a pattern. And sure, us humans coming along and putting cars and hairspray and all this into the planet, of course it didn't help the planet any. Obviously, I don't think there's a single person trying to claim that it helped the environment, that humans are helping the environment. I don't think anyone's claiming that. I'm just saying that I don't feel like it's making as much of an... I think we need to worry more about the soil. What we are doing is taking up space, and we're tilling the shit out of our soil, and all the nutrients is going, and we're running out of room. That's what I think we should focus on far more than the ozone layer right now. Where are we putting all these people, and how nutritious is our soil? That's what I'm concerned about. So, again, there's a lot of people that probably are like, oh, and I'm tuning you off. We're getting all political. We're getting all environmental. Hey, I love myself some trees and nature. I'm a nature tree-hugging woman. God, I love trees. I'd strap myself to a tree. Love them. All for it. But I also understand logging. I also understand, what are you going to make your house out of? If it's not a tree, then, and if your house isn't made of a tree, while you are talking about how cutting down trees is bad, then I hope you're not living in a house made of wood. Otherwise, we need to watch what we say and, walk the walk, right? Otherwise, we should probably just shut up. Because again, we can't be talking into our phones that are made by little kids, because if we didn't have little kids in Asia making our phones, they would cost far, far more. And we know this. We know it would cost a lot more. If we go to mom and pop small local stores, we know we're paying more. And not all of us have more. We barely have anything to go to Walmart and stuff. But that means that we are making a choice. And it means that we're making the conscious choice to promote and support and encourage things like huge businesses like Home Depot and Walmart and Target and these things. That means we are part of the problem. And we don't ever want to be part of the problem. We don't like to admit that we're wrong or that we're a hypocrite. I mean, at least I don't. I'll speak for myself. I don't know how many people want to be a hypocrite and, want to be wrong. I do not. But that's exactly what we are when we do these things, whether we want to admit it or not. We don't have to admit it, but it doesn't mean that it's not true. We can bury our heads in the sand. It doesn't mean that it isn't true. A fact is still a fact. If a fact falls in the woods, are we still there to hear it? Is it still a fact? Yes, yes, it is. A fact is a fact whether we choose to acknowledge that or not. So when we're driving around in our car that has a battery in it, okay, I'm not saying you're a bad person. I'm just saying don't act like you're a better person. Because you're driving around in a battery that has to be put into the earth and only lasts for like 10 years. Whereas I have a 2009 Toyota Corolla that's still going. My son had a 2005 Toyota Corolla that we sold at 300,000 miles. And for all I know, it's still going because we sold it 2 years ago. And it was still going. So in 2024, a 2005 Toyota Corolla was still alive and going. And I have a 2009 still going. 253,000 miles on it, and she's still going. Well, she needs brakes right now, real bad. And I need to fix the fuse in the steering. But other than that, she's still going. You know what I mean? So I just feel like lately people really like to climb up on their high horses, parade around, looking down at everybody, pretending that we're so great. But I mean, unless you're riding around on a horse, you can't really talk about how great, or you're, in a canoe. Because if you're in a boat, you've got gas. If you're in a car, you're using gas. If you are using a battery, you're using a battery. Like, come on. Unless you figured out a way to use water and you're tootling around in a car made of, that gets by on water or air, then, you're part of the problem. So we do need to make better choices. Maybe we need to go to farmer's market and maybe we need to DIY our own stuff, Maybe we need to make our own soaps and whatever, but I feel like we're taking up space, and I feel like it's our soil and our land we need to preserve right now. The air is fine. Not the air quality in China, not maybe the air quality in Nepal or India, but that's because of a lot of people. But I'm just saying, I think the ozone layer is fine. That's my point. I think we have bigger fish to fry. I think we have other things to worry about. I think we have priorities. Anyway, haven't done a podcast in a while, so I'm just doing a podcast and saying thank you. Thank you. This podcast is really about nothing. Just rambling, exactly what the title says. Again, I don't lie to you. I tell it like it is. Ramblings of an Insomniac, because I'm rambling. That is what I'm doing. Rambling. You get exactly what I say. Anyway, thank you so much for listening. I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. There are people from all over the place that have been hanging out with me, checking out my podcast. You guys can look at my social media platforms like Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. I could definitely use some help over there for sure. So if you want to check out those social media platforms, give me a like and a subscribe. I would appreciate it so very much. And again, I don't know when I'm going to get this frickin' episode out because I've really got to find a platform. So if you're listening to this, it means I found one. Hot diggity damn. I did it. Okay, anyways, I am wishing you guys all a fantabulous, fantastic, extra amazing day, evening, afternoon, whatever the case may be in your neck of the woods. Whenever you're listening to this, I hope you have a wonderful day. Remember to let go of the things you cannot control. Focus on the things you can. And until next time.